Alright guys, so sorry, so today I will be speaking about the quote-unquote Illuminati and what my opinions on it are. For starters, I used to be someone who would research the Illuminati all the time and all the conspiracy theories and all this and blah 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 blah. But now I don't research them that often. Well, you might say that I do, but not directly at least. And I'm going to tell you why I don't do that often. And let's start out with the first basic, most simple reason is that there's a right and there's a wrong. And when it comes to the Illuminati, you know, everybody is into, oh, the government's conspiring with the aliens, or the government's conspiring against the aliens, or the government is with evil spirits, or the government's conspiring against the good spirits, or the government is using religion and Christianity to enslave us, or the government is fighting against Christianity and religion and God to try and make us free, and all these contradictory things. The important thing to accept is that there is a right and there is a wrong. And when you see something wrong, hopefully you should know that it's wrong. And it's when somebody hurts someone else, right? That's wrong. When somebody helps someone else, that's right. And when it comes to the Illuminati, like, everybody is into their own little conspiracy and stuff like that, and I eventually came to a point where I realized I don't care if the government's conspiring with aliens or demons or whatever, if they're chanting at Bohemian Grove. The point is, I know that the government steals your money via taxation. They kidnap people via what they call arresting. They murder people via, you know, all the wars they start, and B, everybody who defends themselves from their corrupt laws that they kill. What else? They lie via propaganda. Those are bad things. You see, murder, kidnapping, stealing, and lying are like the four elements that make government or the state a real thing. And I understand now that I don't care if the Illuminati is real or not. I see what the system is doing. I see what the government's doing, and I know it's wrong. Based on the non-aggression principle, which said you shall not initiate you shall not initiate the use of force against thy neighbor, against someone else. I know, via the non-aggression principle, a universal principle, that all government is bad. Alright? Plain and simple. And that's why I stopped researching the Illuminati so much, because do I really care if they're praying to weird deities or weird gods or devils, or if they're trying to consult aliens? No. The point is, I know what they do is wrong, and that's what matters in the end, is that the government is doing things wrong. Now, do I believe that the Illuminati exists? Sure. You know, I feel as though there is significant evidence. You look at Bohemian Grove, and Alex Jones did infiltrate. He did film. He did show that it does exist, that there is pagan cult worship involved. What else might I say? The Illuminati, we do know that there is a corporate system controlling us. Sorry, my throat's kind of scratchy. We do know that they control us via money, the banks, the pharmaceutical industry. We know all this. We have documents, records, proof, video footage of certain things. And ultimately, if you don't believe in the Illuminati at all, you'll realize that the world isn't a free place right now, right? Now, my reasons for believing that, yes, conspiracy theories do indeed happen, whether the Illuminati is real or not, is simple. Now, one thing I've heard someone say, a popular libertarian YouTuber say, is that, well, the lions instinctually are bad. They don't need to go after a herd of sheep by speaking on walkie-talkies and making a plan. They do it by instincts. And the reason I disagree with that statement is that we human beings are not lions. We're not animals. We're at a higher level of consciousness, and therefore we know significantly more than they do, and we can plan, and we can lie. Animals cannot lie. We can lie. And so, when you have any system, you get one person that system's dishonest. It's the fact that there are going to be people who are dishonest. Well, once this person realizes he's not alone, conspiracies are inevitably going to happen. Alright? When more than one person realizes that, more than one dishonest person realizes that other people are dishonest, conspiracies are innately going to happen. They're going to want to better themselves, and they're going to hurt other people to do it. And that's what we've seen today. That's how I can know that that conspiracies are definitely happening, and there's no denying it. The bigger the system you get, the more likely, obviously, that there's going to be conspiracies involved in the system, As far as the belief in the Illuminati and all of the different types of conspiracies you see and hear about, well, eventually got to a point where it was almost like religion, because everybody had a different story to tell about the Illuminati, and everyone, they all contradicted each other. And that's why I can guarantee you, absolutely 100% sure, the vast majority of what you hear on the internet about the Illuminati is nothing but crap. And here's why. Because it all contradicts each other. You have stuff about how the aliens are good and the government is fighting against them. You see serious stuff about how the aliens are bad and the government's fighting with them to enslave us. You hear stories about how it's all demonic, and you hear stories about how it's all to bring the Antichrist in power, and it's all about Christianity, and you hear stories about how it's all spiritualism, and how there's good spirits and bad spirits or whatever. The point is, it all kind of contradicts each other. Each story is different, alright, and if one story is true, most of the others can't be as well. Now, if you're someone out there on the internet, and you believe in the Illuminati, and you have one of your far-out stories, because there's no limit to what the Illuminati stories can be, because it comes from the human mind mostly, there is no limit. What do you think the odds are that your version of the Illuminati story, quote-unquote, is real? What do you think that is? Probably pretty slim. Unless you're someone like me that goes by only, typically only the evidence that you can see and prove. For the most part, most of what you're going to see is definitely not true, and I'd recommend, if you're going to research the Illuminati, make sure you only go find sites that can provide evidence. Don't listen to some mysterious site where the voice has changed and they have comments eliminated and they're just talking, weird stuff, because I'm not saying that this is innately not true. Obviously, I leave it up to you to find the information yourself and to judge by the facts and the evidence. But and that I mean not stuff that's easily photoshopped, guys. Come on, when you see politicians doing this constantly, I have not once seen a politician on the news do that. It's got to be photoshopped. But actual hardcore facts, it is important that you don't just go to some random mysterious site, that you actually see the facts, because again, every story is different. What are the chances yours is the true one? It's just like religion. Now, again, everybody is against each other. Like, you see the people who liked William Cooper hating on the people who liked Alex Jones, and vice versa. And people are saying, oh, Alex Jones is a part of the Illuminati. Well, first of all, I haven't seen any evidence of this yet at all. And second of all, I can see why people would not like Alex Jones. Personally, I was one of the few that liked him from the get-go. Some people do. Some people love him from the get-go. Other people hate him from the get-go, because they just don't like the way he does things. They're more sensitive personalities, and they don't like the way he runs things, and that's perfectly understandable. But if you don't like the way somebody else runs something, instead of telling them they're doing it wrong, fix it yourself. Because just because you don't like the way they run things doesn't mean they're a part of some huge conspiracy or the Illuminati and stuff like that. Because in the end, we all believe in contradictory things. But let's just focus on what we probably can all agree on. And I'm sorry for my throat and my voice in this video and the coughing. I'm just pretty congested right now, just to let you know. But anyways, let's focus on what we can all agree on. I think that's A, the world is a less free place. B, the system is trying to make us less free constantly. And C, that we all want to make the world a freer place. Because there are some of us here who maybe are anarchists, myself included. There are some of us here who are limited government constitutionalists. I used to be like that before I became an anarchist. And all sorts of other political things. I think we just need to focus on what we can all agree on, and that's there are bad people who are in power, who are trying to control us, and we need to fight back and make the world a freer place. I think we can all agree on this. Everyone, from the people who are Alex Jones listeners, to the Christians, to the pagans, to the people who believe in aliens, to the psychics, all to the people on random corners of the internet who believe in random theories that probably no one else believes in, that's different than every other one, that's highly unlikely true. I think we can all at least agree on this, because I saw people fighting over it, and I'm like, no, this generates fear. This splits us up. It generates fear amongst us, and I think that if people were trying to control us, they'd want us to be afraid and arguing about who the enemy is and who the good guys are, instead of just feeling in their heart what they know to be right and what they know to be wrong, and doing what's right and making a difference. Because in the end of the day, only you can know that you're legitimate. Only you. You can't know for sure that Alex Jones is legitimate, or that William Cooper is legit, or anyone else you listen to. You can only know for sure that you are legitimate. Alright? And don't let the fear set in. Whatever you do, don't let that happen. Alright? That's what this is meant to do, to get us fighting over who they are, instead of just making the world a better place, via loving, via freeing us from politics, exposing the bad, whatever. That's how we're going to make the world a freer place. We're not going to make the world a freer place by arguing about what kinds of aliens rule the world, and rather the aliens are really spirits or gods, or they actually are beings from another planet, or if the government is fighting for or against the aliens, or whatever. Or rather it's all demonic. You're not going to make the world a freer place by doing that. I'm sorry, you're not. Alright, it's a waste of your time and energy. You're going to make the world a freer place by doing good things, by helping people, by exposing the ill freedoms, the ill deeds that are done when they happen, and knowing for yourself. Because you are all smart, alright? Don't let any of these people who claim to be quote-unquote experts think that you can't think for yourself. Because you can, and you should. You shouldn't go by just what I say, or what Alex Jones says, or anyone else. You need to listen to you. Thanks, and auf Wiedersehen.